see generative AI as something that will enhance innovation, speed up innovation, but also create sort of more of a democracy around innovation and technology in the future.
Sophia, thank you so much for joining us here at the DFS.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Super exciting.
It is, and it's great to see you again. Before we start, for those who haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, can you please tell us who you are and what you do?
Yes, absolutely. So, my name is Sophia Wikander. I work as an industry lead at Microsoft for financial services covering Western Europe. I've been at Microsoft for a little bit more than a year, and before that I have 18 years in banking, working with digital transformation, innovation, payments. In 18 years you cover a lot of different things, so that's who I am. It's a very good question. We're doing a lot of different things, both in financial services in general, with corporate customers, meaning banks and financial institutions, but we're also working a lot with Fintechs. I mean, being part of and sponsoring an event like this is of course one of the things that we're doing, and we're doing that across the world in different countries. Both working with fintech houses, fintech hubs, events like this, as I said. But then specifically for fintechs, what we're doing is a couple of things. Firstly, we are co-innovating with them using AI or any other product development. We're also a technology enabler, so through our Azure cloud service, you can either be hosted or scaling through that service with us. Then we have our distribution channel and the co-sell that we're doing together with the Fintechs. And then you go through the full process together with us, where you get great support in order to become part of our marketplace. And for a lot of Fintechs or any startup, the scale up and reaching the substantial distribution channels is the key things in order to actually grow, and that you can do through Microsoft, who is covering worldwide. And then last but not least, we're working a lot with mentoring. We have mentoring from an industry perspective, but also we have an organization called Digital Natives, where we support Fintechs and other digital natives organizations. I think there are several different things there as well. One of the things is, of course, the technology, the platform thinking, the ecosystem thinking, enabling the platform to be the foundation, but also build on that in order to create different services, different solutions that can be offered to banks or consumers. And we base that very much on the asks and the requirements that we are seeing in the industry overall. We could see something in one region that we don't see in another one, and then we build on that in that region so that we can scale what's happening across the world. Then I think there are certain areas where Fintechs are struggling a little bit, and that is very much related to compliance and security. If I listen to what banks are talking about now, the major risk in banking now is cybersecurity. It's not credit risks anymore. It is actually the cybersecurity threat that we are facing across the world, and especially financial services is talking a lot about that. And there Microsoft help the Fintechs by having a platform where we look at cybersecurity and security as a whole from an end-to-end perspective. We're investing more than $1 billion yearly in cybersecurity, and being a part of our platform means that you can enable part of that security thinking and solutions that we're having. The other one is compliance. when I was in banking and talked to and worked with a lot of fintechs, they had problems sometimes understanding the compliance that is required in banking. It's all about trust and risk mitigation, right? And there are new regulations coming up frequently, which can be difficult to both afford as a fintech to be on top of. You can't have legal advisors who helps you, but it's also, a timing thing. As a fintech, you obviously don't have a massive amount of people who can work on a specific topic like compliance. And there Microsoft can play a really positive role for them, because we of course need to be compliant in all regions where we operate. And we are not only securing that we are compliant, but we're also proactively working with regulators in order to drive innovation and drive momentum in both deciding and implementing in new regulations. I think banking is actually, and fintechs, are one of the industries that can leverage most out of this. And why is that? I think there are a few different things. One is that many of the banking products are actually the same, independent on which bank you're choosing. So it's really about how you provide the customer service in order to create customer satisfaction. So that's one angle. The other angle is the vast amount of data and historical data as well that resides within banks. And their generative AI can play a fantastic role in both collecting, summarizing, and interpreting the data that you have in an organization, but also as a second step, obviously, through that data, and you can create a more customized, a more relevant offering to your customers, both on the consumer side and the corporate side. And for a fintech to be able to tap into that need for new solutions, new way of serving customers, how to enhance existing offerings, but also build on new revenue models based on data insights, for example. There I can see a lot of different angles. And if I should be more concrete, if you look at today, if you look at an advisor in banking, to be able to be on top of all the new products that are coming in, maybe new products that you're getting in from a fintech, and in addition to that, being aware of all the compliance, can be quite tough. And with generative AI, you're able to, in real time, actually collect a vast amount of the data that you have within your organization in a secure way, because the data resides in your organization if you use Microsoft. And then in real time, as an advisor, you can immediately get an understanding of, okay, these are the products that are available for my customer, and while you're talking to that customer, you can offer them different solutions, and you are completely confident that you have the full overview of the different solutions that are available. If there's any updates in the product, so knowing your product, you know that is also up to date. And you can also, combine it with the regulatory constraints that you might have in a certain product, or automatically generate agreement text, so that whatever discussion you have with a customer, you can move that into the agreement system, and by that, smoothen the onboarding of the customer as the next step. I read a study a couple of months ago stating, right or wrong, but stating that 74% of the work that is done in banking today will be done differently due to generative AI. Not being replaced, but done differently, and then part of it will definitely be, replacing what we're doing now. We can also see that in tests that 40% of coding, meaning developing, the basic coding is 40% of that is done by an AI, and then you as a developer can augment and work on from that foundation. I personally think that, and a lot of people with me for sure, that AI and generative AI will complement, or being a co-pilot, like we're saying at Microsoft, to the people working in banking and in fintechs going forward. Absolutely now, but I think that will be the same for many, many years, if not forever. There is a need for humans to interact with the technology to secure that anything that the AI is producing is double-checked and triple-checked by a human being in order to secure that it's accurate, it follows the responsible AI perspective that you have set up as an organization, etc. I see generative AI as something that will enhance innovation, speed up innovation, but also create sort of more of a democracy around innovation and technology in the future. It's a very good question. Microsoft has a strong view on regulation and responsible AI. We are working with responsible AI and have done so for more than 6 years. And we're doing that by incorporating it in everything we're doing in Microsoft, but also in our dialogues with regulators. And we are pro-regulation in the AI area. The upcoming AI Act, we have given our point of view on that from a technology perspective, but also from what we're hearing from the industries. For us, it's important that we get the regulation in place as soon as possible. We know that a lot of companies are waiting for that AI Act to see what that will mean for them. We also see it as a work in progress. This is a very new technology. It's moving really fast. So also being open for constantly reviewing and updating the regulations in a way that will create a foundation and a security for the industries or for the financial service industry in this case is very important. In addition to that regulation, we recommend for banks and anyone who's working with AI and generative AI to develop their own foundation for how they will act responsibly when it comes to AI, and preferably have a responsible AI board in the organization, so that the employees and any project that you're running in an organization can look towards that board to get guidance and advice on how we're working with AI in a responsible way. With all the areas that we're in, we really want to be part of the Fintech ecosystem, both because we want to understand more what's happening there, of course, but also because we want to make sure that we partner up with Fintechs that are relevant for our customers, but also helping and supporting the community as a whole. We have successfully worked with several different fintechs in Belgium. Greenamy is one of them, which is obviously covering sustainability and ESG data, where we have seen a need from our customers worldwide to have more solutions there. So they are a part of our marketplace, and we have a lot of joint customer meetings with them, etc., in order to provide their services or offer their services to our customers. And I know they're speaking today, so looking forward to listening to them as well. We have others that we're working with as well. Data Village is another fintech that we're working with in Belgium. And again, we're looking at fintechs in different countries, but we're really looking at them from a scaling perspective. So how can we secure that we can offer this kind of service to other countries as well? And as a part of that, we're also discussing with the fintechs when we onboard them, how scalable is your solution and how will we help you to scale beyond Belgium in this case. Another partnership that we of course are very proud of is the one that we're having with Swift, where we innovate together with them, and that is a way for us to enable innovation on an even broader scale by co-innovate with large players like that. And Euroclear is a fourth one that we're working very closely with. I think the closeness that you have in Belgium to the ECB and the regulators are, obviously impacting the angle to innovation and fintechs here. I think that the clear message to become really data-driven as a society is something that you obviously share with other countries as well, but not that many, to be honest. So I think that those two are the main ones that I see being key in Belgium. And I think that the regulatory piece and the compliance focus that you have on a lot of your different fintechs is something that is needed more than ever in the financial service society as a whole.
Well, Sophia, thank you so much for taking time to speak to us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's really fascinating.